Do you call yourself an ardent fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and believe you are well versed with the heroes in a half shelf and the franchise's overarching mythos? If your answer happens to be yes, we beg to differ here, and all the more so because there are so many TMNT storylines that are utterly ridiculous and on so many numerous levels that it is difficult to keep track of all of them. Like, for example, one of the comic book storylines ended up introducing the franchise's first female turtle, which is neither Venus de Milo nor Jennika, for that matter. Well then, who was the first female turtle? For this, we will be exploring the first story, The Fifth Turtle, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures Special Issue number 11, published back in 1994 by Archie Comics. Are you ready? Let's find out all about her, shall we? But before we get into the video, we do have one very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. The Fifth Turtle Explored. The Surprise Birthday Party. Steve Sullivan and Brian Thomas's epic tale begins with Splinter making his way back home through the sewers of New York City with his favorite pizza that has his preferred toppings of double anchovies and black olives, and looking forward to a calm night all by himself. Believing that his children Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael have gone to visit April and that he will not only get to relish his favorite pizza in peace, but also spend some personal quality time, Splinter is almost at his door, oblivious to the fact that his children are sitting in the dark, all set to celebrate his surprise birthday. So with Splinter opening the door, the lights are turned on, and the group inside is seen screaming, "Surprise!" and "Happy birthday!" Of course, Splinter did not see this coming, and the surprise gesture has him dropping his specially customized pizza on the floor, which gets spattered in the process. We get a good glance at everyone who is part of Splinter's surprise birthday. The group includes the Turtles, along with April O'Neil, Ninjara, the female fox, and Oyuki Mashimi, a former foe turned friend of April and the Turtles. With April placing the birthday crown on Splinter's head, the latter is seen to be quite happy with the gesture. Splinter was earlier led to believe that his sons had forgotten his birthday, but Leonardo reminds him that his sons are ninjas at the end of the day, and that makes them incredible at being sneaky, and that everything was a ruse to catch him off guard. With Splinter looking at his messed up pizza on the floor and grieving, Michelangelo shows him a table with piles of Splinter's favorite pizza ordered from his favorite place. Later, with everybody settling down, April finds Splinter lost in his own world amidst the chaos. As she asks Splinter what the matter is, Splinter lets out a sigh and admits to her that he can no longer recall what it was like being human. Michelangelo asks him why he would want to be human, to which Oyuki jokingly replies that if Splinter was a human, he would have to move out of the sewer to get a job and join the rat race. However, this has April thinking about how difficult it must be for Splinter to be a rat for all these years, especially when he was born a man. Looking for a cure. The following day, April is seen accessing the library database from her computer and telling Oyuki that she is trying to lay her hands on an article she had come across last year. After Oyuki leaves April's apartment to visit a certain somebody named Kato Lee at the hospital, April finally finds what she has been looking for. A 2-year-old article stating that the chemical company Enterprises Corporation was developing an anti-toxic waste serum that was apparently capable of reversing harmful mutations in some affected organisms. Upon realizing that it might actually be a cure for Splinter, April heads over to the Enterprises Corporation and discovers that the organization has changed its name to Mer Enterprises. Once inside, April is greeted by a friendly intern named Perry Gray, whom she had spoken to on the phone earlier. Perry tells April that she will give her a tour around. However, they are stopped by Perry's hostile boss, Dr. Melvin Koss, who instantly denies April access while stating that all facility tours have been suspended and that the new owners of Mer Enterprises do not like people snooping around. As Dr. Koss turns April away, he angrily asks Perry if she has read the previous month's memo of procedure changes. Perry apologizes and says she must have missed it, given that lately there have been so many memos. Dr. Koss sends Perry back to work and ensures April is out of the building. Be careful what you seek for. April was almost leaving the premises when she found an Acme bakery truck pulled out in front of a loading dock. Upon witnessing a man taking out a barrel with "Danger Toxic" written on it, April recognizes him as Shredder's henchman, Tim London. Of course, this has April making up her mind to probe deeper into the matter later that night. April observes Tim delivering the barrel to Dr. Koss and getting paid in return, so she becomes all the more doubtful and decides to do some digging all by herself. She is seen sneaking back into the building to see what is inside the mysterious barrel, only to bump into Perry on the way accidentally. April asks Perry why she is sneaking around, and Perry tells her that Dr. Koss lied to her, that there wasn't any memo suspending tours, and that many suspicious things have been happening there lately. She also tells April that all the scientists have been working in isolation, that no one knows what the other is doing, and that she has her doubts about Dr. Koss. April and Perry are seen gathering close to the door of Dr. Koss's office in order to listen to the conversation that he's having. They hear him speaking to someone about the component of ooze, how the company can resort to the ooze to finish their mutagen/anti-mutagen experiments, and that they only require test subjects to run their experiments. April realizes that they have to get out of there and informs the cops immediately about it. But before she and Perry can do that, they are incapacitated by the malicious alien species, the Grem, who are also disclosed to be the new owners of Mer Enterprises. April and Perry are locked up inside holding cells in the basement. Dr. Koss points out at April and tells the Grem that she was snooping around earlier that day. The Grem looks at April and Perry and tells them that they will make excellent experimental subjects. April tells them that her friends will come looking for her, but the Grem named Emdar states that her friends won't even recognize them and has April and Perry exposed to their new batch of mutagen, which transforms April into a mutant turtle and Perry into a mutant squirrel. Emdar is highly pleased by the result and states that they are ready for a Grem test subject. Before leaving the basement, Emdar also says that Dr. Koss is due for a recharge session in the Persuader. Planning the escape, April looks at her transformed self, and it dawns upon her how difficult it must have been on the part of the turtles in Splinter. A teary-eyed Perry asks April what the Grem plans to do with them, and that is when April tells her that they will certainly get out of this situation and that some of her best friends are mutants. Realizing that the mutation must have given them new special abilities, she has Perry squeeze through the holding cell bars, and as for her, she resorts to her claws and beak to snap through the bars. Next, April is seen ripping open a ventilation duct, after which both crawl through until they reach the roof. When thinking of ways to get down without getting caught, Perry uses her wings and flies April over the fence before making a rather rough landing on the ground. Needless to say, April brings Perry to the sewer home of the turtles, and their transformation takes everybody by surprise. Post a rather hurried explanation, the turtles decide that the time has finally come for them to kick some butts and cure April and Perry. April puts on a white bandana and asks Perry if she can handle the nightstick she's holding. Perry tells her that during college she worked 2 semesters as a campus cop. Meanwhile, at Mer Enterprises, Emdar asks how the test subject is doing and learns that the subject isn't exhibiting any ill effects. Emdar is also told that Dr. Koss is under their complete control again, with Emdar stating that they are all set to test the anti-mutagen and ordering that April and Perry be brought up from the basement while he blends the ooze in with the rest of the formula. The turtles, along with April, Splinter, and Perry, are seen crashing through the skylight. April angrily tells Emdar there isn't any need to fetch her and Perry because they are already there for them. Leonardo tells the Grem to hand them over the antidote and leave the planet if they don't wish to be hurt. This is when the mutant Grem appears before the turtles and effortlessly knocks them aside. While the turtles are seen charging back at the mutant Grem, April stops Perry from engaging herself in the battle and tells her that they will need more than muscle to be victorious in the fight. April recalls Emdar stating that the anti-mutagen was almost done, so she decides to finish it. She, along with Perry, discovers the vat that contains the reagent and dumps the entire ooze into it. Next, Perry connects the hose pipe to the vat, and April tells the turtles to duck, after which she sprays the mutant Grem with the anti-mutagen brew she concocted. This has the mutant Grem transforming back into a normal Grem, and it is only fitting to say that the entire lot of the Grem are easily defeated by the turtles after that. After the Grem are seen taking off in their spaceship, the turtles locate Perry, who tells them that Dr. Koss, despite being confused at the turn of events, is feeling much better than before. Perry addresses the bigger issue. Since they have used up literally most of the anti-mutagen on the mutant Grem, only one amongst all can be cured with whatever is left of the anti-mutagen. After the turtles state that they love being mutants, Splinter also says that he isn't interested either and that he has grown highly used to his current life. April urges Perry to take the cure and tells the latter that her friends will teach her how to cope with her new form. Perry thanks April only to splash the anti-mutagen on the latter. After April transforms back to her human self, she asks Perry why she did that. Perry tells April that the world would undoubtedly miss a famous reporter way more than her, and that by using Graham's notes, she might actually be able to recreate the cure. Perry also adds that she really likes that she can fly, even if it meant only gliding. The issue ends with Splinter quoting, "All is well that ends well," and Michelangelo grinning and saying that he found April as a turtle quite cute. With this, we finally come to the end of our video here. So what do you think of the first introduced female turtle? We would love to know your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, do let us know if you fancy April as a turtle more or as a human. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please do leave a thumbs up and stay tuned with us as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye and thanks for watching. Have a nice one.